Hey anime lover, welcome back to your channel. I hope you people are doing great. One Piece chapter 1108 is here. Before we start with video, I like to ask you a favor that don't just watch video only but also to take a moment to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate your support for the effort I've put into making these contents. This week, we have a fantastic and colorful spread featuring the favorite female characters from One Piece, Robin, Nami, Hancock, Tashigi, Yuta, and Riju, and they are enjoying their kitty party. The chapter is titled 1108, Attention World. The reason behind the title is that towards the end of the chapter, Vegapunk makes a significant announcement that captures the world's attention. Chapter starts somewhere in the wooded area of Egghead, where Augur is pointing his gun on Caribou because Augur thinks that he's spy who is after his captain's Teach life. The suspicion arises because Egghead is a world government island, and Caribou, being a pirate, seems out of place on a government-controlled island. Caribou begged Augur to spare his life, explaining that Augur had misunderstood him. Caribou warned Augur that if he killed him, Teach gonna kill them. Augur asked why Commander Teach would do that, and Caribou revealed that he possessed highly valuable information. We know that apart from Straw Hats, Caribou possessed details about ancient weapons named after gods. The first weapon is the Fishman Island's Princess Shirahoshi, known as Poseidon, and the second weapon is Pluton, which is sleeping underground of Wano. Caribou told he could be useful to Commander Teach and wanted Augur to take him to Teach so he could share the information. After hearing Caribou, Devon and Augur were seen curious. Now, the scene changes to the coast of Egghead, where marine officers are ordering the battleships to retreat from the shore. They also need to stop firing on the pacifistas because their bubble shields are deflecting all the attacks from the marines. The pacifistas are giving the marines a tough time, and the marines are feeling frustrated. Bluegrass expresses frustration, mentioning that while the pacifistas are beating them, trying to take them out would only harm the marines because the pacifistas are valuable assets. Vice Admiral Hound said that it'd be unprecedented, but is there any chance of calling off the Buster Call for now? However, Vice Admiral Guillotine angrily explains that Vegapunk himself gave command of all the pacifistas to Bonnie. They can't stop it now, and it was clear that after all these things happened with Vegapunk, it was clear that he will rebel against the world government. To regain control of the pacifistas, Vice Admiral Doberman urges his fellow Vice Admirals to track down and capture Bonnie. Vice Admiral Tosa agreed and said he's very close to Bonnie and others. Suddenly, he launched a surprise attack called Tosa Crunch at Bonnie and Frankie. Bonnie and the others were shocked to see this sudden attack, but luckily, Dory and Brogy arrived out of nowhere to save them. Brogy used his axe to take down Tosa. Bonnie, Frankie, and Atlas were surprised to see giant warriors on Egghead, wondering if they were friends or foes. The giants explained they were there for Straw Hat and had checked bounty posters to identify new members. However, they mistook Frankie, Bonnie, and Atlas for researchers. Frankie thought the giants might have a grudge against his captain Luffy, but the giants clarified that they had gratitude for Straw Hat and were warriors from Elbaf. They promised to keep everyone safe if they were friends of Straw Hat. Bonnie asked the giants to help Luffy, Sanji, and Vegapunk. When Brogy heard the names, he mentioned that Vegapunk was the one the scholar talked about. Frankie wondered if these were the giant masters that Usopp always talked about. Dory then ordered his crew to take Frankie and the others to the ship, and his crew agreed. The Vice Admirals were puzzled about why Tosa's communication suddenly stopped. Vice Admiral Pomsky suggests it might be Frankie's group countering Tosa, or perhaps the giants who took him down. Bluegrass tells Doll to get on the Sea Beast weapon because they plan to attack from the sea. Doll spots a ship to the northeast and is certain it's an Elbaf giant ship. Bluegrass warns Doll about the seriousness of dealing with giants and asks if she has ever fought one. Doll reveals that her commanding officer 20 years ago was a giant, and guess who it was? It was Jaguar D. Sol. A giant with beard asked about the location of Usopp and others, to which Frankie respond that other are above the clouds. The scene then shifts to the battlefield where Saturn and others are. Sanji is trying to take Vegapunk with him, but Vegapunk is unable to move. Sanji asks Vegapunk how they can save him if he can't move. Vegapunk responds that if Sanji tries to move him, he'll die from internal damage. Sanji insists that they promise to get Vegapunk off the Egghead. Vegapunk explains that he asked for the favor, but he's already made his deathbed and there are things he wants to protect. Saturn, in his full Spider Zone form, stands in front of Sanji, Luffy, and Vegapunk. Injured, Vegapunk asks Sanji to do him a favor and look after Bonnie because she commands the pacifistas and she's an easy target, and world government will come after him. Sanji stands confidently and observes Saturn's changed appearance, noting that Saturn doesn't look human anymore and has a strange look in his eyes, and he appears completely covered in venom. Suddenly, Saturn attacks Luffy, Sanji, and Vegapunk with his pointed spider leg. but Luffy effortlessly dodges all of his attacks. While Luffy is dodging, he instructs Sanji to carry Vegapunk and not to stop, even if Vegapunk is expressing pain. Sanji, carrying Vegapunk, skillfully dodges Saturn's spider legs. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Kizaru appears in front of Sanji and kicks him in the face. Taking advantage of the situation, Kizaru shoots Vegapunk in the chest. Vegapunk is badly injured, and this time it seems unlikely that he'll survive. After the attack, Kizaru seems saddened because Vegapunk is his old friend. We also know that Kizaru is doing all this out of compulsion. Seeing what happened to Vegapunk, Luffy became worried and instructed Sanji to take Vegapunk and go to the back entrance. Sanji apologized to Vegapunk for being careless. Luffy transforms into his giant form and grabs Saturn by the head with his left hand while holding Kizaru's body with his right hand. Kizaru coughs up blood while being held by Luffy. With a smile, Luffy tells both of them that he won't let them escape this time. Sanji, carrying Vegapunk, asked Vegapunk at what he was smiling and urged him not to die. The scene then shifts to Punk Records' lab. Vegapunk's face appears on the screen, and he begins speaking. Vegapunk introduces himself as the world's greatest and most humble scientific genius. He says he's about to share a shocking message, urging everyone to bear with him as he reveals the truth about our world. So with this chapter end here, right from the beginning of the Egghead arc, it was obvious that Vegapunk's death was expected. The Egghead arc began with Shaka informing Dragon that his end was near. As a backup plan, Vegapunk set up something, a global live stream that starts when he dies. This live stream is meant to share secrets about the Void Century with the world. In the next chapter, we might get to see Vegapunk revealing these hidden truths. So guys, that's all for today's video. See you guys in next video.